Yeah, good evening, everyone. Hope I'm audible and everyone could see my screen here.
Yes,
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, all. So, where are we? I think we are about to start with the advanced JavaScript concepts, right? So, let us say this guy November 11th. Okay. So, in general, guys, when you come to the JavaScript, there is nothing like advanced JavaScript stuff and all. So what I have done is whatever the advanced parts or much more important concepts to be applied and object-oriented related part, I just made it as an advanced JavaScript concept. Okay. So let's go with, I made some of the concepts like inheritance concept in the same way, like exception handling concepts, closures concept, how do you secure the data? So these are parts what we'll be discussing when you come to the advanced JavaScript parts. Okay, so let us start with the very first part, which is called sharing the data between the objects. Okay, so what do you mean by sharing, and what is the reason that we need to share the data? Just let's have a look on that. So the first one is okay. So let us say some scripted tag. Let me create a very simple data here. I say where which one we go with. Okay, let us say some product details here. Okay, so where product data one is a simple JSON object. Okay, under that I have the product name, say something called as some laptop. Okay, I say product price, something called $300. I say manufacturer, say some Sony. Okay, and I say something called as seller name. You know, like whenever you're going with the online shopping applications, you would have seen the product will always have the seller data, isn't it? So I mean, the guy who the company like who is actually selling this product. Okay, so that is what the seller details we have. Say some ABC Electronics. Okay, Electronics PVT Ltd. Okay, in the same way, seller rating. So what is the rating of this seller? We say 3/5. Okay. Yeah, so these are the details of a product which is having some name, price and all. So let me put some methods also. I say some product data. Okay, a piece of method. Or else let me make it as a function. Okay, now I say console.log product name is plus this dot p name. Okay, right now I'm not showing the data on the page, as you guys already got expertise into that, right? So if at all, instead of showing the data on the console, if I ask you guys to create a div guy or UL elements and to show the data, you can do that, right? So I say console dot log price is plus this dot price, and hope we already talked about the price also. I mean, sorry, not the price. We already talked about the this operator. Like anytime you want to refer the current object properties or the behaviors, we make use of the this operator here. Okay. So now I copy this. I say this guy as a manufacturer and this guy is Mano. and I say console.log seller details, console.log seller name is plus this dot seller name, console.log seller rating plus this dot seller rating. Okay, this is what I have done. Now on the top, we simply say product data one dot display product data. Now, if you reload this guy, open inside the browser, you should able to see the data within the console. Okay. Any questions on this sample example? Any questions with this?
Sir, can we have seller detail as a key, and inside that can we have all the details of a seller as a value?
That's a good way of representing the data. That's good part. So see, saying that, boss, when you see that product data is different and seller data is different, why don't you differentiate between them? Okay. I say something called a seller data, okay, or seller info. Okay, I make it as an object. We put this guy as a sub object for this guy like this. Now, when I want to show the seller details, I say this dot seller info, this dot seller info dot seller rating. Okay, this is what you're saying, right? Now, if you save this,
Yes, sir.
come back and reload the page, this is how it is showing. Yeah. Any more questions, anyone on this example? No questions, right? Okay, good. Now, the question what I have is, okay, boss, this is a single product data. You're just showing like this. Okay, let me go with a different product here. Okay, instead of product one, let me make it as product two. Instead of laptop, say something called as some mobile here. Price as 3002. Say something called OnePlus. Okay, and we know that multiple products can be sold by a single seller. Agree or not? A single seller can sell multiple different types of products here. Okay. Now I am saying ABC Electronics is the same seller who is actually trying to sell the same type of, different types of products, but the seller details, obviously it's going to be the same. Now, if you save this guy, come back out here, reload the page, you see the details of the product one following with the details of product two. Any questions up to this?
No, sir.
Everyone clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, nice. By looking into this data of product one and product two, can you tell me that was something is not going? I mean, anything you see that something not going in a correct direction? Anyone?
Mask coding.
Duplication of the data.
Exactly. So the data, what actually it is being represented of the seller data, is it not getting repeated here? Yes.
Yes.
Right now it is two products what a same seller is going to sell. What if the same seller is going to sell some 1,000 products on the page? Now, further case, am I not going to unnecessarily repeat this repetition, unnecessarily repeating of the seller data for 1,000 number of times? Yes. This is where the concept of inheritance is going to come into the picture. Now, what we are suggesting is anytime, now my requirement is I have the data here. I mean, the common data, which is seller info data. Now, what I want to do is take out this seller info data, make it as a separate object of this. When it is a common property for both of them, let us create where seller info is equal to so and so. Okay. And now instead of this dot seller, I would like to access this as this dot so and so. Okay. And this guy, no comma property. Okay. I'm not putting the seller info into the product details, and I'm going to even remove from here. Okay. And this guy will be this dot so and so, and this guy will be this dot so and so. Okay. Now I have two different objects. The advantage what you see is no repeatancy of the code. Whatever the seller data you have, you made it as a separate object. Okay, super fine. Now, if you save this guy, come back over here and reload the page. Do you see the seller details are coming as undefined here for both of the products?
Yes,
Yeah. Why? So when we say that this dot seller name, is it not going to identify or is it not going to search for the seller name key under the product one? Right now, it is not available. Seller name is a separate object. Now, how do I access the data of seller info within the product data one or within the product data two? This is what the concept we call it as inheritance. The concept of defining the data for once and reusing the data any number of times whenever you want it within the application, we call it as inheritance. Repeating again, the concept of reusing the data any number of times. Once you define the data, but you reuse the data into another objects or into another class, we call it as a inheritance to avoid the duplication, in order to avoid the redundancy of the code. Okay, now what I wanted is, I want to access this. Now, seller info is one of the object, product data is one of the object. I would like to access the seller data, seller info object into the product data one, as like we were accessing the product data one data. So how you're going to do that? So we have to put in implementation, we have to put some inheritance here. Now, before putting some inheritance, let us say I would like to see, what do you mean by this product data one? When you console this product data one, I'm reloading the page. If you expand these guys, okay. Oh, it is not showing this. Browsers got updated actually. Okay, fine. So if you see here, along with the objects data, you see like it is having some name, price, menu, etc. and all. Along with that, is it not having a property, something called as underscore underscore proto underscore underscore? Yes. Now, what do you mean by that property? In JavaScript, any object you create, I say where data is equal to some object like this. I didn't even give any data. By default, data will be something like this. It will be having underscore underscore proto underscore underscore property. So what is the use of that property? Using this property, we can make an object to expand its behavior by pointing out to the external object also. Repeating again, what is the use of this underscore underscore proto underscore underscore property, which is by default available in every object of JavaScript, using which you could able to expand the behavior of any of the object. We could able to extend the behavior of an object so that it can point out to the other object properties also. Now, what I wanted here, we are saying this dot seller name. This means what is the current object? Product data one. Now, I would like to expand the behavior, extend the behavior of the product data one object to not to just point out its own properties, but to get a capability of pointing the seller info object property also. So how do I do that? I simply say product data one dot underscore underscore proto underscore underscore is equal to seller info. This is not copying the data of one object into another. Inheritance is never a concept of copying the data into another object. Inheritance is the concept of referring the data of other objects from your object itself. Let's take a practical example. Okay, before that, let me show this example here. So product one is getting the capability of pointing to the seller info. Now, if you reload the page here, go into the console, is my product one could able to access the seller name and rating? Yes. Is my product able to product two could able to do that? No. Why so? Product two, we are not making the product two, or we are not increasing the capability of the product two to inherit the seller data. Now, for that, what I need to do? I need to say product data 2 dot underscore underscore proto is equal to again seller info. One object can be inherited to any number of other objects. Okay, now if you save this guy, come back over here and reload the page. Now if you see here, we could able to access the seller data in both the product 1 and product 2. But if you clearly see, these two objects are not having any type of seller data. There is a separate object which is having the seller data. Now you are asking the sub objects to point out the parent object properties. And whenever we are implementing the inheritance, this object, the seller info, becomes the parent object. Product data 1 becomes the child object. Or this guy will also called as, this guy is called as parent, or we can call it as base object. This guy is called as child or derived object. So why it is called as child? Because I'm inheriting the seller info. Why it is called as derived? Because I'm extracting the data of the parent into the child here. So this is what we call it as inheritance, inheriting the data from one object to another object. Any questions? Okay, in between, I have a question from Nikhil. Sir, using spread operator, which is triple dot, we can copy the data. That is what I said, Nikhil. When you say inheritance is not the concept of copying the data of object into another. Inheritance is the concept of pointing to a different object from the current object. I'm just getting a capability, that's it. Okay, and in JavaScript, let us see what are the types of inheritance being supported. Now, when you say I have a class A and I have, sorry, object A and object B. So this is A to B. Let us call this guy as A object and let us call this guy as B object. Okay, now we are inheriting the data from object A to object B. So how we are going to do that? We know that we say B dot underscore underscore proto underscore underscore is equal to A. Obviously, you could able to inherit the data of A into B. This is what we call it as single level inheritance. Okay, there is another one which we call it as multi-level inheritance. What do you mean by multi-level? This is what we call it as multi-level. Okay, so these guy will be class A, these guy will be class B, and these guy will be class C. Now, what we do is A will inherit to B, B will be inherited by C. Okay, something like this. Now, what do you mean by this? How I'm going to do this? I say B dot underscore underscore proto underscore underscore is equal to A. Okay, we say C dot underscore underscore proto underscore underscore is equal to B. That's it. Now,
Sir,
indirectly, we could able to get the data of A into C here. This is what it's going to happen. This is indirectly, it's not direct. Indirectly, we could able to get the data of A into B. Now, if you ask me a question, we are not inheriting A into C, right? But as we are inheriting the data of A into B, C will get a capability of accessing the A data also indirectly. This we call it as multi-level inheritance. Okay.
sir,
Another way of inheritance. One second, let me finish this. There is another way of inheritance, which we call it as multiple inheritance. What do you mean by this multiple inheritance? I can have two classes, something like this, sorry, two objects like this, which is object A and which is object B. Okay. Now you could able to inherit a single object, which we call it as C. Okay. Now these guy will be inherited to C and these guy will be inherited to C. So this we call it as multiple inheritance. So coming to JavaScript, it is straightforward supporting both single level and multi-level inheritance. It is straightforward not supporting the concept of multiple inheritance. Why the reason I'm using this straightforward word here? When you come into other technologies, like assume like Java. So Java is also not, against to not supporting multiple inheritance because of data ambiguity issue. But indirectly, I could able to achieve that using the concept of interfaces, either implementing or extending an interface. I can do that. So that is how it is not straightforward, but still we can do. But in case of your JavaScript, there is no concept of multiple inheritance. Multiple inheritance is not supported because of data ambiguity issue. Only single level or multi-level, and that to multi-level, you can keep on increasing A, B, C, D, any number of level. You can keep on going on this. So these are the types of inheritance what been supported in JavaScript. Yeah, someone asking a question. Please go ahead.
I think the first one for single level, is it wrong, sir? The what you have written there.
Okay. It should
yeah.
be B actually.
Yeah.
A dot, sorry, it should be B dot prototype equal to A.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Sir, what if in multi-level we don't give B dot protos equal to A? Then will C have the capability of inherit A?
No, right? If B is not inheriting A, there is no chance C will get into B. A will become an individual object. B and C will become the child and parent objects.
Okay, sir.
Next. Anyone, any other questions? Come on, let me know, guys.
Sir, please explain multi-level ones.
Sorry, ma'am, multi-level?
Explain, please.
Okay, multi-level inheritance means, obviously, assume, okay, let us take a practical example. Something like I have where grandfather details. Okay, assume like grandfather property. Okay, so in the same way, I have my parent property. Okay, I'll be having some data. Now, when I say where child property, something like this, can a parent can access, my parent can access my grandfather's property? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So what should I do now? Do I need to say parent dot underscore proto is equal to grandfather? So I could able to access this data. As a child, can I access my parents' data?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Can I say child dot underscore proto is equal to parent?
Yes.
I can do this. Is it not indirectly I'm getting the grandfather property also through parent?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So that is what your multi-level inheritance. Are you clear, ma'am? Who asked this
Yes,
question?
yes, yes, sir.
Yeah. Next. Come on, more questions.
If there is a variable across all the three with the same name with the value different, then which will get the more priority in displaying that one?
That's a very good logical question, Giri. In general, so what is his question is, now grandfather is having say something called as some factory. Okay, he's having a factory, ABC factory. Now he is having something called as a mill. Okay, some mill info. Okay, now when I say child, he is having some car. Okay, car info. Now you tell me, can a parent, as a parent, can I access the factory details of my grandfather into the parent?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Child can access the factory and mill information
Yes, sir. Sir.
of parent and grandfather? Yes. Now, what if I myself having something called as factory of say some test factory? Now, when I say someone asking about what is your factory name, whenever you refer the values within the object, internally what happens is, first of all, the object looks for this. Now, if you see here, I mean, in this display product data, first of all, when I say this dot p name, what is my current object? Product data 1. Do I have the p name? Yes. Do I have the price? Yes. Do I have the menu? Yes. Now, when I say seller name, the object, what it does is, first of all, I will look for my current data. Do I have the data called as seller name? No. Do I have an inheritance? Yes. Now you check whether you have the data within the parent object or not. Yes, then it will be referring it. If it is not, then it is going to throw as undefined. So the first priority, what it will be given is to the current object properties, if the properties are having the same name. And when I say property, either it could be the property or the function also. Now, this guy is having one of the behavior, say something called as get my history or get seller history. Okay, one of the function. Now, can you tell me, can I access this get seller history from the product data 1? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, right. When I say inheritance, I could able to access all the data of the child, or sorry, of the parent into the child. And in JavaScript, we don't have the access specifiers. So not to get confused, if you go to the technology like Java also, we have the access specifier, not just only Java. When you go for TypeScript, if you go to Angular, we have a concept of, we are going to make use of the TypeScript as a language. So it internally uses the access specifiers, like you can specify the access specifiers to the data, like private, public, and protected. Okay. Did I answer your question, Giri?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Next, any more questions? Come on, any more? I think I have some questions in the chat. What are those? Mayur, B dot prototype equal to A, C dot prototype equal to A. Yeah, that is possible, right? D dot proto equal to B and E dot proto equal to C. Yeah, it is possible. Mayur, it is not multi-level, right? It is again multiple.
No, what I'm expecting is A will have two child, B and C. After that, B and C can have single common child, which will no. I got it. Sorry, got it.
Sorry, Mayur, could you repeat again?
Yes, sir. Clear. I got it.
Oh, you got it, right? Nice. Next.
One question, sir.
Yeah.
So we do use Proto for accessing the entire object. What if we want to access the specific key of the object instead of entire object?
What do we, sorry, Gagan, could you repeat the question again? We do use the Proto.
So we use the Proto to access the entire object, right?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of object, I want to use the same object using Proto, but the specific key of that object.
So, I mean, once you get this object, right, whenever you are implementing an inheritance, you cannot specify that only you get only two keys out of it. Now, when I say I implement inheritance, implies I got the access to all these two properties and one of the behavior. Now you have one of the key, something called as seller address. You don't want to give an access to that. You don't want to give the seller key access to someone else. Then what you need to do, make it as a local variable here. Now you say simply var address is equal to say some seller address. Now this address cannot be accessible to the child guy if you make it as a local variable within the methods. Okay, but whenever you say inheritance, when you say proto equal to so and so, the product data one will get all the authority or all the capability to point out all the details of the child which are in public state. Did I answer your question, Mayur? Oh, sorry, it is Gagan, right?
Yeah, answer.
Next, but one thing, guys, someone, I think Giri asked me the question, boss, if you have the parent and child having the same type of key, now parent is having the factory, this is what we're discussing, right? Parent is I mean, grandfather is having a factory. I also have a factory. Now, when I say my factory, first of all is test factory is going to come. Then what is the way I can access my grandfather factory? That is where you have a concept of super keyword even in JavaScript. If we have the super keyword in Java also, in the same way, we have the super keyword in JavaScript that I will be discussing when I actually go to the classes, how to create a class. Right now, we are working with the static objects. Now, sooner we will be moving into dynamic objects. In order to create a dynamic object, you need to have a class. At that time, I'll talk about the super keyword and constructor method, etc. Okay. Yeah. Any more questions? Okay, Shreyas, like important in CSS. Exactly, Shreyas. Next, Raja. Sir, can we have A dot proto equal to B and A dot proto equal to C? You cannot do that, right? That is called as multiple inheritance, which cannot be done. You cannot inherit multiple objects data into the same object. Now you want to inherit the B data and C data into A, which will not be possible. You will be having only single data, not multiple data. Okay. Any more questions? Okay, Sheikh, sir, can parent class access child's data? Yeah, that's a good question. So when Sheikh is saying that parent can access the child's data, no. If the parent has to access the child data, parent has to become a child for that. Now, when you say A dot proto equal to B, only A data can be accessible into B. But if you want to access the B data into A, then you need to do the reverse proto also. Is everyone clear, or any more questions? Okay, good everyone. Now, if you have thousands of child objects, thousands of product details objects you have, you don't need to bother. You don't need to repeat the seller info here. You don't need to write the seller data. Define the seller data only once. Whoever the object want that property, he will simply extend that class. Extend that object. They make use of it. Okay. So this is what we call it as inheritance between the two static objects. Okay. For example, a real-time scenario. Say, for example, Amazon is one of the company. You know that what Amazon is doing, Amazon is not owning any of the products. Amazon is just a place or a company who is helping multiple sellers to come to a single location and sell their products. Okay. Now, when I say Amazon is providing my options for the sellers to come and sell their products in a single platform, when, say, for example, I am a seller, when I'm going to the Amazon, I have the seller data and I have the product data. Now, for the Amazon, both the data are hard-coded, or both the data is a static data. Now, what I need to do? I need to give. No, as a seller, I say that, boss, this is the seller data, and these are the 100 products or 100 objects what I want to go with. So in this case, Amazon need to create one parent object and 100 child objects. All these objects will inherit the same parent object. So the seller data will not be repeated here. Okay. Any more question?
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, is it possible that A is the child of B and at the same time B is the child of A?
Yeah, we can do that, right? When I say,
can you show it once? Like how to exactly do that?
Sure. Let's create an example out of it. Say, for example, I will say some sample.html. Now, when I say var data1 is equal to name1 colon Mr. Raj, display data is a function, console.log, name is plus name1, this dot name1. Okay. In the same way, I have data 2. This guy has display data 1, this guy has display data 2, and this is name 1 and this is name 2. I say Tina. Okay, and here I'm going to show the name 2. Okay. Now I say data 1 dot display data 1. In the same way, data 2 dot display data 2. Now if you come back and reload the page, open this guy, inspect this, go for console. Name is Raj, name is Tina. Okay. Now what you're saying is, okay, for now, let us forget about the data 2. I want to say data 1 dot display data 2. Is it possible? No. Why so? I don't have a method called as so and so, then it is going to throw me an error. Okay. Now what I say here, data 2 dot underscore underscore proto underscore 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 is equal to data 1. Sorry.
So proto spelling.
Oh,
PROTO.
proto. And another thing over here is I'm saying from data 1. Okay, now if you reload the page, it should still throw an error. Why so? Here it should be data 1 dot so and so is equal to data 2. 1 is the parent, sorry, 1 is the child and data 2 is the parent. Now if you come back, reload the page, I'm getting Argentina details. Super fine. In the same way, now I would like to say data 2. Okay, data 2 dot display data 2, but I want to say data 2 using the display data 1. Is it possible? No. Why so? Data 2 is not having the accessibility to this. Then what I need to do here? Do I need to say data 2 dot prototype is equal to 1 here? Yes. Now if you come back and reload the page, this is what the error we have, cyclic error. So A is depending on B and B is depending on C. So it is saying that cyclic prototype dependency is there, which is not possible in JavaScript. Am I clear here with your question? Who asked this?
Yes, sir, got it.
Got it, right? Yeah. Anyone, any more questions? Clear, everyone? We can go next. We can go to the next topic.
Sir, can parent inherit from child?
A parent
Can inherit from child?
No. Parent cannot inherit from the child. Now, when I say A inherits B here, now if you see in the previous example, when I say data 1 dot proto, obviously data 1 dot display 1 is coming, data 2 dot display is coming. But when I say data 2 dot display 1, it is throwing it as an error. Why so? When I am saying A can inherit B, only, sorry, A is inherited by B. B can access all the data of A, but A cannot access any of the data of the B because B is not having any info that who is my children or it's not having any info. Only B is going to get the data, that's it. Okay. If at all the parent has to become, sorry, the parent also has to become child, then you need to remove this. That is what the example we have shown that, right? Right now, data 1 and data 2 are there. Data 1 is getting inherited to data 2, super fine. But if I want to inherit data 2 into data 1, I'm putting this underscore proto, then it is going to become a circular inheritance, which is not allowing. Any more questions?
Sir,
Yeah, go ahead.
sir, we are accessing the data before inheritance. Like we are accessing the data line number 20 and we are inheriting the object line number 24.
Here, okay, let us come back to here. Now your question is, boss, you are saying the seller name at line number 29, but you are doing the inheritance at line number 33. How the data is coming? Is what your question is?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, but if you see, Satya, when this data will be invoked, only when you call this method. And when we are calling the method, we are calling the method later the inheritance, right? If your point is valid, if I try to put this guy before this guy, then it is going to throw an error. Got it again?
Yes.
Okay, so once you define a function, doesn't mean that you're calling. Only the function call is the place where by that time you should have the inheritance. That's it.
Before calling the function, we are inheriting.
No,
Function
we are inheriting the data. We are implementing the inheritance, then we are calling the data. But here we are not calling the data, we are defining the function. You are saying that, okay, this is the body. Now
Yes.
this function doesn't come into the picture until unless we invoke it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Next, any more questions?
Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
So where you mentioned that it is a parent or it is a child?
Here we don't use the keywords like parent and child. When you say object saying dot proto underscore underscore proto underscore underscore, these guy will become child. And from where you are inheriting, that guy will become parent. We don't use the keyword like parent and child. In none of the languages we use this. Just the way it is inheriting, we say which is parent and what is child.
Okay. If you want, now you are making that, suppose second one is the child and first one is the parent. If you want to change that parent is child and the child will become parent, then it is also possible.
Yes, it is possible.
Okay, sir.
Now you comment out this guy. Now you say seller info dot underscore underscore proto is equal to product data one. Now the seller data will become the child and product data will become the parent. Okay.
Yes. Okay, sir. Okay.
Next, any more questions?
Sir, can we use for loop to establish inheritance for like elements, like a dynamic array? Can we do that for any elements that are being added?
When you say inheritance, okay, do you mean to say, for example, I have where some data is an array of objects, say some obj1, obj2, or else I can say some data is product 1 object, product 2 object. Like this, you have n number of products. Now you want to say for where I equal to 0, I less than data dot, come on, length and I plus plus. Now you would like to say data of prod1 dot underscore underscore proto is equal to say some seller info. This is what you, okay, data of I, oh man, this is what you're saying, Raj?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, it can be done, right? Because this is just a simple statement. Doesn't matter whether it is, I mean, a for loop or whatever the thing you put, you are simply saying object dot proto and you're inheriting this. That can be done.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I just wanted to confirm, that was all.
Yeah, that can be done. Next. Come on, guys, more questions.
Is there any way that parent can access child data? Any way?
No way. Okay. If you have to do, that's what I mean. When the child is getting the data of the parent is not having any type of information here. Okay. Next. That's it. Can we go next?
I have another question, sir. Sorry.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Raj. No.
What's the difference between prototype and proto?
In order to extend the behavior of an object outside of the object, we make use of the prototype. Let us say, that's a good question actually. Now I say where student details is going to be an object. I say name, Mr. Raj, age, say some 10, and I say display data is going to be a function, something like this. Okay. Now I just defined this object. My expectation is I would like to add some more property for this as details. So how do I do that? I want to add some more. I mean, the object definition is done. Now I can simply say as details dot prototype dot show details is equal to a function, something like this, which is indirectly equal to show details function like this. You can even do this if you are defining the object, but what if you don't have an access to that object? You are not defining it. I mean, someone else is doing it. You just got the object and you want to extend its behavior by adding some more method. Then we go with the prototype. Am I clear, Raj?
Yeah. I would need to read up a bit more on it myself. So thank you.
Yeah. More questions?
Sir, I have a simple question. So basically, can I speak in Telugu, sir?
Yeah, please go ahead, sir. No problem.
So, మనం instead of this, మనం ఒక ఆబ్జెక్ట్ నేమ్ ఇచ్చి డైరెక్ట్ ప్రాపర్టీ ఇచ్చేసి ఆబ్జెక్ట్ నేమ్ ఇచ్చేసి ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ప్రాపర్టీ ఇచ్చేస్తే ఇట్ విల్ షో నో సార్. ఇన్స్టెడ్ అలా ఆబ్జెక్ట్ నేమ్ ఏమో ఏలో ఇస్తే ఐ మీన్ టు సే బిలో ఆబ్జెక్ట్ నేమ్ ఏమో ఏలో ఇచ్చేసి బట్ ప్రోటో యూస్ చేస్తే విల్ ఇట్ షో. అంటే బికి ఆల్రెడీ అన్ని యాక్సెస్ ఉన్నాయి కదా ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ప్రాపర్టీస్ అన్ని. సో డైరెక్ట్ దిస్ అనకుండా ప్రెసెంట్ ది డైరెక్ట్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ నేమ్ ఇచ్చేస్తే అర్థం కాదు.
Yeah, I got it. Okay, guys, to just repeat his question. So what is his question is, boss, once you say you have, I mean, the very first thing what we have learned already is, instead of this operator, there is a chance of you can make use of object name also. Agree, right? Everyone, instead of this, I can say product data 1 dot product 2 dot data so and so. Now, what he's saying is, boss, when you're saying this seller name, what if like I say product to 1 dot seller name? This object is not having it. Instead of this, I'm using this seller name. In this case, I go for this product data. Instead of seller name, I say product data too. Now, if you come back, open inside the browser, let us see whether it could able to access it or not. Could I able to access this? But why the only one object is coming? Did I comment the second one? Product 2 dot display data. Oh, product to 1 dot display data, I have removed it. Oh, control Z. Oh man. I need to say product to 1 dot display data. Come back here, reload the page. Could I able to access the data of the seller here? Yes, because now here not using the this operator, you're making use of the object name itself. Once I get the capability of accessing the data of other object into me, now when I say this, my current object, either you use this operator or the object name, still you could able to get the parent object data.
Thank you, sir.
Is that is what your question, right, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, good. Any more questions?
Sir, I did not understand that prototype.
What was that, Pravita?
I did not understand the prototype, but you explained something about a prototype.
Let me repeat it. What do you mean by prototype is, say for example, this is the object which you already have. Okay. An object as details which is having name, age, display data and all. This is the object which is being thrown from the server. Your expectation is you want to add some more behavior inside this. How do I do that? I want to inject some behavior into that object. If you are defining this, obviously you will say comma, show details, something called as some function. This is what you do. Yes or no? But what if you don't have this object? You are not defining this object. Someone else has created and it's already available. Then how do you do this? That is where you have the prototype. Using the prototype outside of the object, you could able to inject the behaviors to it. Am I clear, Pravita?
Then what is the difference between the proto inheritance and the somehow we are
we injecting the new properties or are we adding other properties into this? In case of your inheritance, if you're not talking, please go into mute. Yeah. Okay. Underscore proto. What is that? It is not inheritance, right? I have one of the object. I have second object. I know that these two objects are available. I want to access the data of object 1 into object 2. That is called underscore proto inheritance. Here we are not inheriting. We are extending the feature by adding new features to it. Do you see the show details is already there? No. I'm not saying that there is already a show details. Inject that show details into S detail. In that case, I need to go for underscore underscore proto. But here there is no concept of show details. I want to define it as a new. I want to inject a new properties to this. That is where I go for this.
Okay, so we are defining this show property newly after this S details.
Exactly.
Okay,
In
okay.
case
Got
of
it.
your underscore underscore proto, there are two different objects. I want to inherit the data of one object into another object. That is what underscore proto is.
Okay, okay, sir.
Yeah. Next. More questions? Good to see. Good questions from others. Okay, no more. Can we go next? Okay, let us go for the next topic. So the next topic is, okay, we have seen inheritance, understood an inheritance, and inheritance is not just done, guys. Inheritance is a lot more to come. Now, the next way is, there is a scenario like Amazon where you have one of the object, static object available and another static object available. You want to implement the inheritance. You have used the underscore underscore proto. Let us take an example where you have one object as static object, one object as dynamic object. Okay, you have one object as static object and another object as dynamic object. Now, how do you implement inheritance? So, practical scenario, assume there is a school. Okay, there is something called as some school which is having its own details, and you need to go for registration. And when you say you are getting registered to the school, including the student details, you will also have the school details. Yes or no? When I get registered into one of the school, now, say for example, you guys are there. At the same time, Naresh IT Institute is also there. Naresh IT is having its own details. You as a student, you have your own details. Earlier, there is no relation between you and Naresh IT. But now, when I say, who are you? Now you will say that, okay, I'm so-and-so, having so-and-so qualification, studying at, taking some classes at Naresh IT, which is where it is located, some so-and-so location. So you guys got the details of Naresh IT also. Understood, everyone? Now, in this case, assume you are the one approaching to Naresh IT for registration. Now here, you tell me, for Naresh IT admin, is Naresh IT details are static details or dynamic details?
Dynamics.
Static.
Static, right? Because they know what actually those are. They know what is their institute name. They know what is their location. They know what is the contact details. Agree, everyone? Static or dynamic? I want everyone to answer.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Static. Awesome. For Naresh IT, if a new student is coming and he want to give his details and he want to get registered, now you tell me the student details are static or dynamic to Naresh IT?
Dynamic.
Dynamic. Because they don't know whose details are. What is his name? For which course he is opting for? What is the pay he is going to do? They don't know anything. They will ask the question, okay, who you are, etc., etc. Based on their input, they are going to take the data. Isn't it? So here, but once the student is joining into Naresh IT, he should able to give, he should also have the data of institute details into his. That is what we call it as inheritance between a static object and a dynamic object. So how do we do this? Let's take a simple example on this. Inheritance between static and dynamic object. Okay, so let me create a simple UI page also for this, where a user can register here. Let me create an external JavaScript, guys.
Sir, you are in mute, sir.
Yeah, actually I'm typing, right? So yeah, I'm unmuted it. App.js, I'm creating a separate file. I'm creating app.css. Okay, so we have two things here. Let me create a simple UL here, CSMLI. I think someone asked me a question like, how do we get the data of a radio button, selected radio button? Have you got, I think Robinson, you asked it, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Have you got it or still waiting?
I got it, but I can got that how to read the value of check button.
Okay, let me show you that also. Okay, some name. Okay, you got the radio, but you didn't got the checkbox.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir,
okay,
I have a doubt, sir.
Please go ahead.
If product is same but seller is different, we are doing reverse patterns in this way.
No.
Product is same and price is different.
No, in
and
that
this,
case, product data will be always repeated. Why so? There is no chance, even though, I mean, actually, if you clearly see this, there is no chance that multiple products will be having the same data, right? Assume I'm taking
examples are in Amazon. We are seeing mobile one seller is giving example of 8,000 rupees and one seller is selling on 7,500 rupees or 7,000.
Okay, let me take an example here.
Yes.
What he is saying is, guys, for everyone, I say where product one, okay, which is having some name, laptop. Okay, price something called as some 1,000. Manufacturer is something called as Samsung. Okay, now in the same way, I might have same product two, which is name, price, and Samsung. In general, there is no way both products will be given for one of the sellers. Now I say what he's saying, seller one want to sell the product one here, and where seller two want to sell the product two here. Okay. Now, what you might ask a question, boss, both are having the same, right? Why don't you say seller one is a product one and seller two as a product one? There is no way this type of scenario will come into the picture. The reason is, when I say product one belong to seller one, there is a chance a seller might change the price. Now, seller one, he got some other advantage. He want to make it as something called 200. Does it mean that my seller two is also getting affected? No, right? So that is the reason it will be never multiple products will be given to the same seller. The same product will be given to the multiple sellers. It won't be given.
Sir,
same seller, not same seller, sir, different seller.
Yeah, different sellers are not being given with the same product. If you see, like this is the same example. I have the product one and the product two. Both are having same price, same name. Right now it is same, but in future, what if the seller one want to change this data? It should not get affected to the other seller, right?
Yes, sir. If the second seller is giving the price is below 1,000, is it possible? Is the product is match case or showing another way?
Okay, you mean to say, for example, he is saying some 200. Obviously, when I say seller 2, he will be still selling 1,000 only, right?
Yes, sir.
Because seller 1 might got, you know why people will go with the discounts, etc. and all? Because based on the content what they are selling. Say, for example, one seller 1 is selling 1,000 of products. If he reduces 10 rupees on it, he didn't got much difference. That is the reason he'll give a discount. But coming to the seller 2, he's not getting that much of amount. He wants to stick to that price and giving the quality. So obviously, when I decrease this guy to 200, product 2 should not get affected.
Yes.
Because if you see, for example, mobile 1 is there, same mobile will be sold by 1,000, I mean, say, for example, 10 to 15 sellers, but they have 10 to 15, if 10 to 15 sellers are there, implies 10 to 15 times the product is getting repeated internally within the database. They won't save the space by not to implement the duplication, because that will really create a problems over there.
Yes, and actually I saw so Flipkart and Amazon, so many products are like that only.
Yeah, it happens the same, but that is the what I mean. And one more thing is, even though they have the same price, etc., and all, for sure they follow something called as a product ID, which is always unique across the application. So I take the same laptop, same price, etc., but the product ID will be always different. Okay?
Yes, sir. They're called as SKU.
Yeah, ASCII, like a primary key we go with.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay.
So one question.
Go ahead, Gagan.
A situation I got it. I found one question in online that, for instance, there are 4 products. For instance, 4 objects A, B, C, D. For instance, and on one of the key of A, object A is in the object 4. Object D. I mean, one of the key. How do I access that key?
That is what I said, Gagan. I mean, someone asked the same. What if, assume, okay, forget about this guy, forget about the 4 objects here. I say where parent equal to something like this, name, say some Mr. Ramu, age, say some 10. Sorry. Okay, forget about the age. I say parent name Ramu, where child equal to name as Krish. Okay, now I say child dot underscore proto underscore is equal to parent. Okay, now when I say child dot name, can you tell me what name I'm going to get? Gagan.
Krish.
Obviously Krish. Why so? I mean, obviously it will always refer to this guy. Now, what if I would like to get the parent name here? Is there is no way? Is it overriding this? No. That is where you have a concept of something called a super keyword. Super is one of the keywords which I'll be discussing when I come to the classes concept. Using the super keyword, you can always refer to the parent object, but super keyword has to be accessible within the constructor object. So those things I will be discussing. Okay, sooner we will be talking about.
Okay, sir.
Okay, yeah. I think in the chat I have a question. Shreyas, sir, like in real time, there are like customer logins and seller logins, etc. So is there such a kind of JS code running in the websites which the seller can edit themselves? Shreyas, when you go with the Amazon or Flipkart so-and-so, right? There is a different admin page which can be accessible only by the sellers by giving their IDs and so and so. They are manually uploading the products. They will be given a simple UI where they need to put on the products. Okay, tell me what is the product name, so and so, for how much you want to sell this product, so and so, how much discount you want to give, so and so. So they will be filling all the data. It will be even asking for what are the images you want to go for. Amazon always obviously will suggest list of images, these things, if you wanted or not, and accordingly you can even choose some images and you can say that, okay, this is the product what I want to sell, this is the rate, and this is the address from where I'm going to throw the product here. So every details is going to show that. That is how Amazon is automatically or dynamically calculating, okay, the source from where the product is coming, assume it is from Delhi, the destination is Hyderabad. So accordingly they will say that, okay, it will take 3 to 4 days of delivery time, etc. So for every seller, the guy who is actually selling the products in Amazon, they have their different look and feel or the different login page. It's not the common Amazon.com they'll go for. There'll be something like some admin Amazon so and so. Did I answer your question, Priya? That is what your question is?
Yes, sir, got it. That was exactly my question.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, so let's come to this example back. What are we doing? Yeah, name, ID, something called as username. I say li, gender, I will take it as a school registration page. Okay, now I say gender. We know that if it is male, input type equal to radio, name equal to say some gender. Female, name equal to gender. Okay, but here I need to give the value equal to male, u equal to female. Okay, in the same way I say languages, input type equal to checkbox. I say English, value is ENG. Okay. Okay, now once I say another line, I say input type equal to some button, value equal to get register. Okay, now I say okay, so now we click on this guy registration button. Okay, let us see how the UI is coming. But okay, let us say some UL tag, width of say some 500 pixel, margin 20 pixel, auto, heading 20 pixel. Okay. Okay, assume I have a very simple registration page. Remember yesterday also I given a simple example of clicking on the button, you need to create all the registration details. So some people have thrown me a question of how do we read the checkbox and radio button value. So I just added this. So first of all, my question is, or our requirement is, once we click on get registration, I need to read the data of all this. So if it is uname, it's a straightforward. I say data.name is equal to document dot query selector hash uname dot value, isn't it? In the same way, I need to read the gender information. You know what I say? I say data dot gender is equal to document dot query selector input input type equal to radio, input type equal to radio dot Is it is checked or selected? Checked.
Sir, is it 10?
Not 10 actually. You know, one thing, input type equal to radio. Sorry, this is checked. Colon checked. Dot value. Let us see what actually this is coming. Okay, I say console.log data. Inspect this guy. Go for console. I say name Raj. Gender male. I say register. Why it's not throwing anything? Haven't I given the on click one? I gave it, right? Then why it is not running? Okay, fine. Now I say name Raj, gender male. Click on register. Now if you see, am I getting this Raj and gender? Yes. In the same way, I would even like to read the checkbox value. Okay. Now I would like to say data dot languages is equal to an array, because array of what all the languages user knows this. Now I say where lng list language list equal to document dot query selector all. Here I need to go with all, which is input of type equal to checkbox colon checked. CHECKED checked. Okay, now I need to go with lng list where I is equal to 0, I less than lng list dot length I plus plus data dot languages dot push lng list dot what was that? lng list it is I dot value. That's it. Now if you save this, let us see how it is working. I say name Mr. Raj, gender male. I say Telugu and English. When I click on register, I have an object where the languages is coming as ENG and TEL. Okay. Yeah, throw me questions, guys, if you have any. If you understood this, fine. If you don't understood, let me know the line number. I'll give the explanation. Come on.
Line number 8, sir.
Line number 8. Okay, so what do you mean by this line number 8? I'm saying I know that I have multiple checkboxes. I want to find out all the checkboxes which are checked. I mean, which are in a checked state. I don't want to go with all the checkboxes. Only the checkboxes which are checked. That is what I'm saying. Give me an input element whose type is checkbox and those are in a selected position. Now I have the list of elements. Now I'm running to each and every element and I'm getting the value of it. Next.
Sir, can you explain please line number 10 dot push off then?
Okay, so what I'm doing is I am taking an empty array where I want to store the languages. Now, when I say language list, how many say, for example, I have chosen English and Telugu. Obviously here, you're going to get 2 elements here. Yes. Now I'm running the looping here. I equal to 0 up to whatever the list you got, dot length. Now data dot languages dot push. Under this guy, I need to push a value. What was that? lng list. It is lng list of I, which is 0, is equal to English element, English checkbox. Now what is the value it is having? This is the value, ENG. For Telugu, it will be TEL. For Hindi, it will be HIN. That is what values we'll get. And we are putting into one of the array here.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Next.
Sir, I've got a question with regards to line number 8. I always assume that when you click on a checkbox, the values that you will get are 1 and 0s. So
if you don't specify these values, then it will be 1 and 0s. But here we have specifically mentioned the value. If we don't specify anything, yes, you are true. You will be getting a 0 or 1.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Here
Yeah.
push means adding one by one, right?
Sorry, could you repeat again?
Here push means adding one by one, right?
Yeah, I push in the sense I'm getting one after one who all are the selected checkboxes. I'm pushing into one of the array.
Okay, thank you.
And it's behaving similar to like append, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, fine. Coming back to this, now I think you could able to finish that registration assignment, guys, because remaining all checkboxes and other things, right? But the only thing is I asked you guys as a sub objects. Okay, try to do that. Okay, so coming to this guy, now I have the data and I would like to show the data on the page again. Okay, now as the student belongs to the Naresh IT. So what I want to do is I want to fill the data earlier itself, say something called as, sorry, it's a school, right? Say something called as school name is, say something called as ABC school. Okay. School location is something called Hyderabad. School rating is 3 out of 5. Okay, assume these are the details of the school details. Now when I console this data, so what is going to happen when I click on say something called as Krish, gender is male, say some English and Hindi. When you click on register, you see I have the object having gender, language, name along with school location, name and school rating. Awesome. Okay, if you would like to show this data on the page, let us say some UL, let us put some ID equal to details block. Okay, I would like to show the data inside this. And what I can do here, can I simply say for var temp key in data? Everybody understood this? What do you mean by this for in looping contour structure?
Yes, sir.
Why do we go with the for in looping contour structure? What is its
Get
use?
the key. Get the key. All
No,
keys.
in order to iterate the object. Iterate the objects, we go with the for in looping contour structure. Now what I want to do is I would like to create a li tag where li equal to, how do you create an element in JavaScript?
Document dot
Document
create
dot
element.
Document dot create element, some simple li tag. Okay, li dot inner text is equal to, I would like to say temp key plus colon plus data of temp key. Everybody know why I'm giving temp key, data of temp key instead of data dot temp key, right?
Yes, sir.
Document dot query selector hash so and so dot append li. Simple. Now if you save this guy, come back and reload the page. I say name, say some Tina, gender, say some female, say some Hindi and Telugu. Oh, Hindi and Telugu. Now once I click on register, do you see the details are being shown for the particular student who got registered? Yes. Okay, nice, super fine. But if you clearly look into the code, am I not unnecessarily, now for the second student is coming, aren't we doing this step again and again? 1,000 students are coming, 1,000 times you are saying that school name is so-and-so, school location is so-and-so, and school rating is so-and-so. Understood what is the problem here, guys? Everyone?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, so the solution what I have is, why don't you separate the school object outside? Now I say where school details is equal to a simple JSON object with all this data. Okay, the data is empty now. Now what I need to do, I need to inherit the school details into the data here. But if you see, this is a static object and this is a dynamic object. What are we going to create? Now what I need to do, instead of creating the data object as a static object, we use the predefined object in object class within the JavaScript dot create method. Under this, you specify what is the parent object from which I need to inherit. As simple as it is. Let us save this. Let us see what is the output we are going to get. Now, if you come back and reload the page, now I say name, Mr. Krish, male, English, Telugu, Hindi. Click on register. Is he not getting the school details also? Yes. Now, what we did here, now for the second student is coming, are we resetting the values to object? No. You simply say object.create. Object.create is a predefined method in JavaScript using which you can create a new object. While creating itself, you give the object of the parent from which this new object has to be derived. Okay, object.create is a predefined method in JavaScript using which you can create a new object by taking the reference of an existing object. Or by implementing the inheritance, a new object will be created. So now the data object will be having its own properties. At the same time, this data object will also have a capability of pointing out the school details. This is how you implement the inheritance between a dynamic object and a static object. Any questions? Guys, you are there? No one is talking?
No, yeah.
No, sir.
No doubts, no doubts.
Okay, that's good. You're good students. Okay, fine, guys. So we'll pause for today here, guys.
Sir, I have one.
Yeah, please go ahead, Ramesh.
I'm thinking in reverse pattern.
Yeah, go ahead.
In admin panel, what is the school? School name, something school name.
Mm-hmm.
Students are 100 students.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand how I asked you, sir. But I have a doubt indeed.
But I understood your word. Like yala chapale.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay,
all
fine.
The student details in తెలుగులో చెప్పంటారు సార్ ప్లీజ్.
Yeah, please go ahead, Ramesh. No problem.
ఇప్పుడు రిజిస్టర్ అయిన స్టూడెంట్స్ అందరూ ఒక్కటే ప్యానల్ లో చూపించాలంటే ఎలా? ఇది నెక్స్ట్ స్టెప్ లో వస్తుందని ఐ థింక్.
Okay, you mean to say, okay, your question is, now if I go with the second student,
yes,
you want to show the second students also on the same page, maybe like appended, one details, second details, third details, etc.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, for now it is already happening. Now if I say something called as Ramesh, okay, now I say, okay, let's remove this guy. Now when I click on register, do you see Ramesh details at the bottom?
Yes, yes.
But yes, if your question is, do you show me, can you show me an object or an array which is holding all the details of the student? Then I say no. Because every time a new student is coming, the data object is getting created. Second student is coming, we lost the data object. There is a new object here. This is where we go with the concept of classes.
Yes, sir.
We have a class. I mean, anyway, like I will give you the more information about the class tomorrow. But yeah, at least you got what actually you wanted, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, no problem. So we'll pause for today here, guys. Tomorrow, make sure everybody is there. Openly and honestly speaking, this static object and dynamic static object, mostly you never get a chance to implement, because when you go into the real time, it's all the dynamic data what you receive. So it's all like dynamic to dynamic. So what if like I want to create 1,000 objects for a single dynamic template structure? So that is where classes are very, very important. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about the classes concept and the other concepts like object. And tomorrow, do remind me, I'll talk about the object-oriented properties. Okay, what are the OOPS concepts? What are the features which are supported in JavaScript and what are not? So we'll have a look on that tomorrow. Okay?
Sir?
Yeah,
Hello,
ma'am,
sir.
go ahead. Okay, 1 second. For others, I'm saying, if you don't have any questions, you can sign out. I'm not going to extend any topics here. I'm done with the topics. I'll just take the questions. If you don't have any, you can sign out. Okay? Yeah, go ahead with the questions.
Sir,
Sir, could you open my